to the surface temperature.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
During like a pump cycle, summer maybe. But we need to break 115. Get it going.
Yes, though, there's a huge shark on the daily.
I'll have to check that.
Fonzie, pull up corn on the daily. Put it on the floor out the bot.
Alright guys, I think I had it where you guys could hear everybody talking to me in the Discord, but not me talking, but I got it working now on YouTube, so YouTube should be good to go. We'll look at it. I'm gonna go through what I want to go through first, and if you guys want to go through stuff, just write me a note in VC. But I have to go over what I want to first to start the stream, and then we'll go over some of the requests that you guys have on the daily and everything. Just write like, hey, what time frame in Discord, um, and then what you want me to look at. And then I'll cut the stream once I get done, like what I need to get done. If you want, and just on YouTube, and just say, hey, like we're gonna be doing requests now for the Discord, and go from there. And this stream it's tailored to my Discord. Um, Obviously, it's live on YouTube. Not many people have YouTube unless I post it on my Twitter. So I'll probably just put it to anybody with the link, and then post the link in Discord. Alright. Few things I'm watching. Let's start with the dollar. So still the 20-year harmonic bearish bat that we had. I'm looking for this Gartley on the dollar that could provide a little pullback. I haven't measured high to low. We obviously just hit our first TP within 2 years, I think it was. So we got this in October 22. We just hit 382, which is our first pullback that we needed, just based on harmonics, and that just hit in April. So two things that I'm watching. One, we're either gonna spike back up here after we hit a 382, kind of type 2 this large harmonic, and this is gonna be, if we do spike back up, I mean risk assets might take a beating, or we form this Gartley at the 618, which is also possible. So I'm just kind of watching this. It's higher time frame, but it is an area where a couple things, like it's seasonality for crypto, where crypto I think is going to pump, but you're also coming into an area where the dollar is starting to look stronger. Or it could reverse at least. So I haven't been using the dollar as much with everything going on, but there's that. Bitcoin versus the S&P, or plus S&P, sorry. Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ. We're still super strong versus stocks at the moment. We are trying to form some higher time frame harmonics here. Nothing too concerning yet. Like we're still in price discovery versus the NASDAQ. Bitcoin dominance, we're still rejecting. So like we had this higher time frame shark. We hit the hop. We came down to T1. Pumped back up to where I said to be careful. And we're looking for this to fall now, right? Like we have this giant trend. Hey. Giant trend here. Deviated here below, got back on top, reclaim, held, and then we have a smaller trend that we broke down from. Right, came back up, hook, retest. Hopefully this drops. If it drops, alts will start to move a lot. And this could be early signs of alt season. If you're looking at it on the weekly, came right back up into the order block. And you are rejecting that. So below 64.27%, we can see alts move. I think minimum this drops down to this area, back down to the trend. Ideally, what we want to see is it break down below this area. And if it breaks down below this area, that's when things are going to really just start to get crazy for alts in a good way. Bitcoin still looks insanely strong, right? So just looking at Bitcoin in general, I told you guys I do want to remain mostly bullish above this level, and we've completely held that. When I was talking about right here. So we held the weekly breaker block. We found support in it, and we're going now. I would love to see a pullback. I don't know if we're going to get one. When Bitcoin kind of takes off, it kind of just goes. If it does pull back, I'd be looking for us to hold this level as a support down at like 102. If we get a major pullback, I think this would be the major pullback. I don't think we go much further down than that, to be honest. One second, let me let my dog out. Alright. But we do have this bat here that I've been eyeing. We came down to a 0.5 retracement. Invalidated above, right around here. And this is still not even, you don't even really want to think about it until you start breaking down below this B. It's just a scenario that is a possibility. If it moves up from here, you can look at like an ABCD 0.5 to 2.0. Alts are the main focus right now, which I'm going to get into. I just wanted to kind of go over what I'm looking at on these. So you could be looking for like 117K if we start to break past this. We have that daily bear div still here, which is the only thing. I mean, we had a higher high, right? And we just had lower highs here. But price kept forming a higher high. So this is one thing that we can just blast by. Like, it is Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin tends to disrespect these sometimes. But you can just see momentum basically kind of slowing down on the way up as we grinded higher. And that's the only thing. If we start to break back down below all-time high, like, we could get a quicker move down. And then from there, that's when you'd want to. Oh, okay. Thanks, Fed. I thought my mic was muted again, so I had to double check it. But that daily recovery looks good. I mean, it looks super strong right now. But these are the two larger pivot areas. One thing you got to touch on too is when you're looking at your daily for the shark. This was the original 886. So if you guys remember, we had this 886 shark here, right? So this was the original area that I said I was going to take a stab at a short. Right here. This was the spike up. This was the spike that tariffs and everything were completed. Good news. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a stab at a short here. But we held the weekly breaker. I said we're building strength here. So we got stopped out about break even, closed it slightly in profits, and we've been strong since. Now we're coming up to the 1.13. Which this is closed. Our 1.13 is right up here. A smidge higher. And maybe we pause in this area, right? And let alts go. Just kind of find a little bit of a resistance per se, maybe not even resistance, just a pause where we take a little bit of time to really break through this and then go. If Bitcoin dominance starts to drop while that's happening, and we just kind of grind a little bit for a couple weeks in between this range, like the 110 to 106 area, then alt can run. And that's kind of what I'm eyeing. In the meantime, on the daily, this is ultimately what I'd be looking at, which side we're going to sweep first. 1.13 is up there, so if we do sweep first into that, maybe we come back down, come sweep this range, and kind of form like a Wyckoff type situation here for our move up. And then we look for longs once we do start to sweep these lows. I'm going to keep an eye on that, see how it develops. Right now it still looks strong. There's no major reason to be bearish, like there's been absolutely zero break of structure. You have held this trend line. There's a simple trend line here that's been held throughout all of this. So just looking at this, I mean, there's no overly bearish reason at the moment. So if anybody's talking about being overly bearish, you haven't even broke a trend. You got higher lows, higher highs.
Trend line coincides with the 50-day moving average, Ponzi. Good morning, by the way.
On the daily or the 4 hour?
Lower time frame.
Yeah, 4 hour. It pretty much.
Yeah.
You've been holding it. I mean, you haven't even lost that. All right, like. So overall, it still looks strong. I mean, even the 1 hour, 200-day moving average is still being supported pretty much. You have your bullish cross. Everybody talks about this, like your golden cross on the daily. And every time it usually does happen, you do get big moves up, right? Big move. Big move. Pretty big move. You can get a retrace in there, and that's the retrace that you buy, right? So if you do get a retrace, which if you're looking for any type of swings, I mean, that would be your area. ETH is what you kind of want to start looking at a lot more now, in my opinion, versus Bitcoin. Hit the hop level on the Gartley. So you can really see this here on the Gartley hop, but most importantly, what I've been eyeing is you hit all-time 886, right? This is what I've been talking about. You had low, high, 886, all-time, bounced from it. So ETH looks strong still versus Bitcoin. I expect this to start to outperform Bitcoin from here. If we do break up and above this again, I think that's when you're going to really see it start to accelerate. And this can happen quick. Like when ETH moves versus Bitcoin, it usually happens really, really quick. Like for example, say we get something like this, like just pulling from previous price data, right? Like this could happen really quick where you have that dip below, you get a couple weeks up here, and then next thing you know, going into summer, those few months that I was talking about, you get just such an impulse on ETH, and we have a amazing summer for alts, and everything just absolutely sends. And I think things really accelerate that like second week of June, like June 11th. After that, I think we accelerate. For now, it's still kind of in like a pause situation, which is why I'm not really in a rush. We're, like I said, 95% spot. So even if things went parabolic, I'd be completely okay. I would just be trading on the side. Everything's mostly spot, and I suggest you guys do the same. You're going to outperform any type of leverage trader if you're majority spot at the moment. People can hit big ones, but you don't see their losses, and then at the end they're going to get back anyways. And they're not going to be positioned where, say, a coin does go up 20x. Like, they might be able to catch some of the move, but they're not going to hold the entire thing on leverage. So, like I said, spot right now, still king. You can see all the FOMO that you want from people on leverage, but most of them are going to end up giving it back, and they're only going to show you their wins.
Like fell down and like broke his leg. Then rising that epic second shot. Yeah.
So, watch this on ETH dominance. Like, I really do think ETH dominance, like, it's been shit on so much, especially here at the lows. I do think within the next few weeks this starts to pick up, and we're gonna get an insane move on ETH. Let's go over Launchcoin first, and then I'm gonna get into some of the major alts I'm looking at, and I'm gonna show you guys harmonic patterns both ways, and entries for. I'm gonna try to go over like the top few that I've been eyeing. We'll just go down my checklist and we'll look for entries for harmonics that are presented. Alright, so Launchcoin. I wanted to go over this because this is one that we got into yesterday, and so far it's been pretty good. I really want to see it start to drop soon, if we're gonna hold. So this 4-hour fair value gap, let's look at the 4-hour first, right? If you guys don't know what a fair value gap is, still go down to ICT trading under trading checklist in the Discord, and there's a bunch of different things you can click on with messages that have a quick PDF and YouTube video that will explain them. Scroll all the way to the top for fair value gaps, or go to YouTube and just search fair value gaps. But you have right here the space in between these candles, this imbalance that was left behind, and the indicator I use is the ANCHE, I believe it is, fair value gaps. And the way I use it, if you go to settings, I have it where it doesn't extend right. So you can extend it right if you want for it to come really all the way out. But that's too much noise on the screen, so I like it. And you can actually go over here for like width and everything and just set it so it's only a little part of your screen where you can barely see it on your chart. And this is my favorite one, personally. But the 4-hour I saw fill. We have this Gartley that I would love to get long at on Launchcoin. Right. We have this major Gartley, and even if you wanted to pull it from here where you get probably like a perfect 618 or closer to it, you have a 618 both directions. 786 would be like right here. So it's not that big of a noticeable thing. If you guys can see, I have all of these alerts here too. So I'm going to get alerted if it hits. And this one's huge, right? Like I think this coin in general is just good for crypto. Why? It's a launch pad. Kind of similar, I would say, to...
I don't think it's hard.
Hold on, I have to mute somebody. I don't know if you can mute them real quick, Fed. Thank you. And guys, I'm gonna have to just make like a stage or something. If you guys are gonna come in with hot mics, just like when you guys come in, just check and see if your mic's unmuted or not. It's super simple. I don't think I've ever like joined somewhere and my mic has been like unmuted, unless I wanted to talk. Or I'll have to figure out where it auto mutes you, like when you guys join in. And if you want to talk, maybe you do push to talk. It's Jitoshi. He gets a pass. Alright. So this is kind of what I'm eyeing, right? Like this would be ideally the area to get into. I kind of lost my train of thought, but Launchpad or Launchcoin is basically a token that's bringing in real life like companies to crypto that they can launch a token. Obviously, not all of them even really need a token, but it's bringing like real companies into crypto. And if you can even just get like one or two like legit ones that get a coin launched, this thing can go insanely high. And I think it's here. We'll look up Ben. This is the guy that's running it. If you guys want to follow him, he's a good dude to follow. He's talking about a lot of stuff with Believe app in general. And this is Launchcoin. So go on here, do some research on it. Internet capital markets, basically. I think this coin can do extremely well. Would I prefer 786 pullback on a coin that's brand new that we typically always get on most coins like this? Yes. I'm trying to short it from the H4 fair value gap here down. So far it has acted like a great resistance. If it comes up and it does fail this, oh fucking well. Not that big of a deal for me. I didn't risk a ton on it. But if we can take this and buy down here, I mean minimum move I would see back up to this area probably from there. But personally I think if we do get that move down there, I mean this is a 10x. I think this goes to $1. I would love to see it come down first where we can get into a long here. All the way down here. Like if we can be able to short the 4-hour fair value gap, we have a perfect Gartley setup, right? Like we have 618, 618, 786. If we come down into this zone and we're able to long this, and I'm super bullish on it just in general, but short term, like just structure wise, it looked bearish. And entry was from like literally these peaks up here, like right. Sorry, mic went off. But yeah, I know Necro, thanks. But if this starts to break down, like, then we're good. And everybody keeps asking if I close it. Bro, it's been less than a day. I haven't made any update. I've showed you the target. Like, I haven't closed it. I will let you know if I close it. If you guys are over leveraged and you guys have to ask questions 24/7 about it, then close some of it or all of it. Like, you're probably over leveraged if you're worrying about it that much. And I don't know about you guys, but I only put on what I can risk. Like, some people put on way too much on leverage, and you guys are going to just get crushed at the bottom before alts even go crazy. Take some off. Take profits if you want. It's down. It's down 13% from the entry I gave. Like, at least 10%. Take some off if you need. It's not that big of a deal. Because it can still go higher, right? I mean, even if it came up to here, you could still see this do like a bat pattern up to this 886 that I had marked. Like that could still happen. You could say this does like a Gartley type move or something. The 786 is kind of right around that 886 move. So we could still get a move up there, right? I have sell orders still. I only had 1/3 of my position filled. I have sell orders throughout this entire area in case it comes back up. Obviously, I might cancel it depending on if we're looking like it's time for alt season and things are looking good, you're getting good news, like just a bunch of shit. Because I am still bullish on this in general. But for me, risk to reward, still a fantastic trade for me. Even where I entered, it's 3-1. And I'm only on 3x, right? Like, my liquidation's not even to like up here or some shit. Obviously, I would, if we start taking out these highs, I'm gonna just close it. But if this falls, it can fall hard. And ideally, if it does fill all my positions, I'm more at a 5-to-1 risk to reward with what I'm willing to risk on the trade. So for me, this looks good. We have the Gartley. I see this time and time again where everyone's super bullish on this. You have your first impulse move up. You get your second wave. It's just not strong enough as the first impulse move to push it up. And then you start to form that 618. So I've seen this time and time again on Solana coins this cycle, memes, all of this, even legit projects. That then you came back up again, you swept this low, right? So from that low, after you took this liquidity, your target should have been this 4-hour fair value gap. So you swept liquidity low, you came up, you retest 4-hour fair value gap. If you start to get a 4-hour candle close above this midpoint here, then yes, I would get out. But for now, if we can find a rejection here, I would expect, we already put in a low here, right? So as long as we keep this high, and we don't get above that high again, we have a bearish structure going on, just on like a smaller time frame. Boom, boom, high, low, put in another high, then you get maybe an impulse move down. We put in the low, we have the Gartley formation. We get in down here and we ride this thing up like crazy. In a perfect world, that's how it plays. We have the harmonic there. It looks awesome, personally. But we'll have to see how it plays. There's only so much you can do. Ideally, what we typically would want to see here is this start to break down, right? I'll go over here. This doesn't have all the data farther back, but just for local structure.
What are you doing, Supercut?
What's up, Super
What is
Cat?
it? Oh, is that for the oh, the fire thing?
Who is that one now,
Okay.
Fed? It won't show up. Muted. Fucking, what the fuck? But ideally, like, you saw your first signs, right? Like, we are holding, if you take it from the absolute lows. But if you start to see some weakness here, one thing I was noticing on the 4-hour, we're finally below again the moving average. The 1 hour, we're below. And we're getting closes below. So if this does start to roll over, this would be a good spot for it to really start to roll over. So there's nothing like really signs of me wanting to get out yet. You tag the 4-hour sorry, can't talk. Let's completely restart that. 4-hour fair value gap is a tongue twister. We tag the midpoint. On futures, you basically swept. On spot, you didn't. The high, and we came down. So that's also good to see on futures. And we have to just eye it, right? Deck screener looks about the same. So even the deck screener one looks good. If we can come down to like 90 million, 100 million market cap, this would be ideal. you kind of are in like a bounce area. You could bounce from here, so if you guys are stressed, close it out. Right? Like it could bounce from here. So I am giving you guys the warning. I don't need anybody, oh my god, it's back at entry. If you guys want to close it out, close it out. Is that what they call it? Magnificent. Turtle soup? I don't know, it's something like that. I've seen the entry model for ICT. I forget the exact names of them. I don't care enough. I use some of the concepts right, but I still think the ICT dude's a fucking chotch. He makes fun of harmonics and other trading strategies, and makes fun of their names, but he has a million different entry models. Like he makes fun of like the bat, the heart, butterfly, and all this shit, which they work. I've proven it time and time again, but he makes fun of all those, but then he has a million different fucking entry models that are basically the same entry models as harmonics. They're just different strategies. And that's why I don't like the dude. I have a resentment against him. He's just a fucking cocky chotch that lost Robin's Cup after talking smack. I mean, all you had to do was fucking win one trade and sit in your hands and you would have beat him. Alright. Ava AI, we were going over this earlier. Right when the stream started. It looks like we had a nice little 30-minute candle down from the 618. I was actually thinking about taking a smaller short on this, but I wanted to start the stream. And I miss trades when I do these sometimes, or when I don't just focus on myself. So like, you guys should actually take these and learn from it and see what I'm looking at, because they are important, and I do spend a lot of time on it.
Hey, Odie.
Bang.
Hey.
Bang, my dog. Okay. How can you make it when people join that they have to do push to talk? Because that's what we're gonna have to do. Let me check permissions real quick, and then we'll get on with the streamer. Maybe I'll just edit it every time I join. Alright. Can you hear me? I'll figure out other ways to do it. I'm gonna unmute everybody because now you guys are all on push to talk. So I'm just gonna go through and unserver mute everybody, so you guys, if you want to talk, you can. Figure out what your push to talk button is if you want, or ask. So I just did it for army members. So I believe you have to use push to talk now. Figure out your push to talk buttons. Alright, so if this comes down, this is the area I'm looking for a swing on AVA AI. This would coincide with everything else if we got a small dip within the next 2 weeks. Really looking for these dates over here for us to really accelerate, just higher time frame. And this could look something like, even if we did get moves up between now and then, I would have this marked as like a bat. Alright, let's just look at AVA AI over on Deck Screener because you're going to have all the data. But say you come down, you're at the 886 pretty much now. But say you come down, you sweep one more time, and now you're looking at the chart, and it's like here, say you sweep, you come down, you reclaim, boom, we accelerate over here. I think a lot of coins start to accelerate in about 1 or 2 weeks, which is why I'm not really in a rush. I think you have some time for leverage if you want to look for good entries for leverage, and then go from there. Alright, so let's go through coin by coin, right? And you still have these setups on most high time frame stuff. Like, look at Arbitrum. This is what you guys will be trading in a few months. Like, you'll be looking for things to start breaking out of major things like this. And it'll happen quick. Arbitrum. We had a shark. One 618. 50% retrace. Into a bullish 5-0. Told you guys if you want to take this one, the trade here, going up to the high again, stop loss below your 618. So Arbitrum still looks good. AVAX, you're still holding the trend, right? AVAX is still holding trend for now as well, which this could impulse up still. Bonk didn't really come down and complete the bat we were looking at. A lot of things didn't. Like, a lot of things are still hovering. That's why I said if we get one more move down, those are your entries. Like, I would love to sweep lows that we've had before we really start to move up. And some coins will just go, right? Like, they've been compressed and down for so long. And they'll just start to go. I'm gonna give me like 2 minutes and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab more coffee. Alright, alright. Hello. I'm back. Alright, before we get back into things, like I really just kind of want to go full circle real quick. This isn't alt season, guys. Like, it's not. I mean, we haven't seen any of the like signs yet for it to really like kick off. Like, we're seeing early signs of it, but currently, like, I know things are pumping, but like, let's kind of look at it like just in a higher frame, higher view. You have hype, right? Like, hype's done extremely well. But in reality, let's get this to load. In reality, like, it's just hype. Like, you have hype and on-chain, like, Solana coins and things like that that are popping off. You don't really have a real major alt season yet. Like, you have ETH BTC that has reversed from, like, the macro 86. You still have Bitcoin dominance at close to an all-time high. So, like, people thinking they're missing the lows and stuff like that, like, you really haven't missed anything yet. So I just need everybody to like take a breath and realize like you still have some time. It can happen quick, but like you still are holding a high time frame trend on dominance, right? You don't have retail here yet. Like, retail is not here yet. You have on-chain PvP, so you have these Solana coins that are running, but it's more like a niche community. It takes a lot less liquidity to move these than like a major alt season. I think something still feels a little bit off, right? And I think it's going to happen soon, and within the next couple weeks, and maybe we start to kick off and we start getting those crazy moves. But in the meantime, like, the way I'm trading, just like overall, right? Like, I can pull up my portfolio and just kind of walk you through like my overall thought process, right? So we have Bitcoin. Obviously, probably, well, it is my largest holding still. And this is going to be, I can tell you percentages wise. And I think people just need to come full circle and get off the low time frame and just kind of understand this too. Let me see if I can pull up like a pie graph. All right, so I still am like 40% on Bitcoin. Just looking overall, like with all my holdings, I think 41% of my portfolio is still Bitcoin. Then my second largest at the moment is, and third largest are about tied, Sui and Nando. Sui used to not be as high as it is, but it's just gone straight up since like 86 cents. So it's up there now. Ondo was like probably one of my larger ones, which also I got pretty cheap. But why am I doing this, right? Like, okay, Ondo, real world assets. This was my bet on this entire just category, I guess you could call it, of crypto. And before alt season even starts, right? So we haven't even had alt season really take off. So in a bigger time frame, zoom out, we have alt season, right? Like, you want to have a leader of each category. Like, that's, and you want to consolidate. You don't want to be all into like 20 different coins with a little bit when you can consolidate. I think consolidation is going to be way better to win. As much as you hear take your assets and put them all into multiple and have a balanced portfolio, that's if you make a lot of money, right? If you want to hold your value and reduce risk and spread everything out, then yes, that's what you want to do after you have a bunch of money. If you're trying to make some money and you're in seasonality of crypto, consolidation is going to win. Pick a few things that you're super bullish on and consolidate into those. So for real world assets, just overall, zooming out, Ondo's my pick. You have higher low, higher high, like the market structure still looks good. It's just a matter of time. ETH pops off, Ondo's gonna go. If you guys want my second and third pick for real world assets, you guys can do your own research. I think Checks looks extremely great at the moment. So you can look at Checks. FDV is actually only 26 million right now, even though it says market cap is 244. This looks extremely like amazing right now, where you are building a pretty much a bottom-end structure here. You broke out of this downtrend that you had. You had a full 886 retrace. Like, this is still super cheap. I think Checks is going to be a great coin to buy. So this is another one that I hold. And then Cpool. So these are my overall picks, right? And if you guys are just looking, if you want to join it, what I'm doing for spot, like these are what I'm in. Cpool, same thing. Like you set up, you 618. I mean, even if you pin this up here, I mean, it could be a bat per se. I'll toggle on Carney software and see what it shows. Yeah, his shows a bat. Either way, you came to 886, right? Oh, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. Oof, I had alerts tied to that. So you have a bat, right? 886 targets are up here. So like even in spot, if you're entering here, like that's still 78% move, which is huge. Target 2, you're looking at 150%, which I think this thing hits pretty easily too, honestly. So the chart looks great, right? Like just overall. I got turned on EMAs by accident. But this thing's starting to kind of curve up. You're starting to look for a squeeze. And you have a bat pattern, right? Like, so this looks good. Like, you still have great market structure for these. These look insane. It's just a matter of time. Like, obviously you're low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So market structure overall looks fantastic for these. So I think people are writing off some just your spot holdings at the moment. But you guys have to really just zoom out and look at this. Like, things are looking good. Higher time frame. Like, you could be doing something where this like just slowly starts to form a base, and next thing you know, you impulse all the way up here. But you have to come back to these basics. Like, this looks good. This is opportunity right here. You can make a lot of money off just higher time frame trades like this with spot, which is what my, and I don't talk about it as much because it's like beating a dead horse, right? If you go over high time frame 24/7, like things barely change from here to next week or 2 weeks from here until they do, until it starts to pop off. But I think anybody in the Discord needs to realize, like, almost all of my money is in plays like this. So this is what we're looking for. So we're looking for this to reverse here at the 886, just like we had at Checks. So we have an 886 bat here, we had an 886 bat on Cpool, and we had a 886 shark on Ondo. So these are my real world asset plays, right? Then we're gonna go into L1s. So layer 1s, Sui's my main horse that I'm betting on. And it's still my main horse. Like I really don't care about the hack. And it wasn't Sui itself either. If anything, it brought more eyes to Sui. And we're in from down here on Sui. So this is still my main horse. I'm still invested in this. And this is what it means by, like, if you just be patient and hold, you can outperform a lot of people. I mean, just from here, we're up like 339%. It was like 500% at one point. Yeah. But I think this goes to a minimum of like $8 to $10 minimum. We're forming a Gartley on the lower time frame, so this is my main horse still on layer 1s. I still have some Solana. Most of my Solana got moved to Sui. You guys know that. I talk about it all the time. We have Say that I still have, which is like the ugly brother of Sui. So I still think Say looks extremely well. Again, like this is a macro shark. I think we barely have seen anything about alt season moving. And like if you guys think about it, like Ethereum is the second largest crypto and it moved 30% in a day, right? In a day. You have Bitcoin that's moving huge amounts. That it's literally the entire market cap of some of these coins that it moves in a day. So once Bitcoin dominance falls, these things can really take off. And this is the things you want to look for. You're at the macro pivot of the 886. So if you guys are looking for a spot move or even just like a 2x leverage and you want to hold it, this is where you do it. Say it came down to the 886. We're at the 886 pivot. And this can, even if it dips, like this is where you would probably want to add more because this is where things are really going to take off. I think this is going to be probably the bottom, if not close to the bottom for Say. And this thing can just take off from here. So this is one of my other L1s. I have Sui, Say, Solana, and then AVAX. Again, AVAX, like at a major pivot point on a weekly, right? Support, 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 resistance, 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 support, reclaim, on a trend line, go. Like this is areas that on a high time frame, you would look for reversals. My DEX, Cetus. Which, still from the entry. I mean, it's still good from the entry, but overall, yeah, it's unfortunate that it got hacked, right? Entry was down here on 9 cents. Was up a couple X's on it. Came all the way down. The thing with Cetus is, like, it's still the main DEX on Sui, and now that they got hacked, they have to tighten up security. If they can get this vote and everything passed, it's a whole news in itself. Like, nobody expected them to get hacked, all of that. You can't predict that. But where it did get hacked, it was at a spot that you should be taking TP1. Like, your 382 from the harmonic got tapped perfectly, and then you retraced from it. So say everything gets fixed, people are going to forget. It's crypto. It happens quick. This is the main DEX on Sui. You type to it, and then you go. It can happen. And if anything, they're going to tighten up security if they get all their money back, and it'll probably be much safer than any other DeFi project on Sui because they're going to get, one, they get their asses chewed out. Two, they're going to have to double down on security. So they're probably going to have a lot more security checks than any other platform on Sui. And right now, it might just be a road bump. We'll have to see. This is my DEX choice. And it's still up, I don't know, 50%. So it was up a lot more. Unfortunate. Sui Eco Send. So I'm super big on Sui at the moment, as you guys know. This is another spot position that I have, which I think Sui Lin can still do extremely well. You can actually see that the last 2 days has done well. This was an entry back down here as well, our April areas that we were entering. So this one still looks strong as well. If you guys are looking for spot plays, still can make a lot of money down here on these.
Yo, isn't there that aggregator Momentum coming out on Sui as well?
What was it?
That aggregator called Momentum?
Yeah, I think that one's coming out. I know there you have Hop Aggregator, and then I think it's called Momentum Move.
Yeah, I mean, if something like that's coming out with like a lot of hype, I don't know if like Cetus is still like a good play here. I feel like this shit
That's fine.
probably die.
Take what you want. I think it'll be fun personally, but if you want to do and buy something else, go ahead. I'm just going over my plays. So if you guys want to choose something else, and maybe I'll switch it in the future, but for now, I mean, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving a counter here.
Memes, still in Fartcoin. And like I said, I've been consolidated. So overall port, Fartcoin's my fourth largest holding, behind Bitcoin, Sui, Ondo, and then now Fartcoin. So far, just based on performance within the last few months, Bitcoin, 40%, right, of portfolio. Bitcoin's at all-time highs. So outperformance. We have, and these are my picks, right? So like my picks are probably still outperforming majority of people's spot coins at the moment. And I just wanted to touch base on this. We had Fartcoin. We bought Fartcoin down here at the lows. There's a reason I picked these things. So Fartcoin was picked down here around like a 29 cents average, and we're up. $360% on that. So we're up 3 to 4x on Sui at the moment since entering. We're up 3 to 4x on Fartcoin. Bitcoin's at all-time high, while most altcoins are down a lot, right? And then we have Ondo that's still holding. But there's a reason these are picked. These are stronger lead-in assets of each category. So like Fartcoin is a lead-in asset of the meme category. We have Ondo, which is leading real-world asset. We have Sui, which is still the lead-in within the last few months. If you look at any layer 1 and compare it to Sui, it is the strongest at the moment and has been. So we can look at Sui versus Solana. Since August, it's greatly outperformed.
What about Sui versus Hype? Since it's technically a gas token as well.
I mean, I think if it reclaims this, it's going to go extremely parabolic. So I have Hype too. The only thing is like, okay, God forbid there's one that beats it. Oh well. But Hype's been extremely well. I've said Hype's going to do extremely well since the beginning. I've told people that. But other than that, like I'm talking pure layer 1. Like I know it's a gas token, but you're talking about more of like an online platform that you trade leverage on. I'm talking pure like layer 1 ecosystem. Sui has been the main performant one, and it has. You think of it like Sol, Say, like all of these other ones, Sonic, Cardano, any of those. It's been the main performing one. Hype, yeah, obviously you still have your whole ecosystem. It's a gas token, all that, blah blah blah. But there's other risks that are involved into Hype that I personally don't like as much. I still own Hype, but there's other things that are in there. Like you have a pro crypto platform or presidency and everything right now. So what happens if they're going to bring leverage trading or futures trading into the U.S. and make it legal, right? Like the on-chain leverage, like a lot of people will pivot if that happens to just somewhere they can KYC, make it simple for taxes and everything else, and just bring it into a platform that maybe shows proof of reserves. And what happens to Hype then? Like I'm talking long-term holds, like, and I'm looking at risk averse when I'm looking at this too. Like Sui has a team that's from Meta, right? And the Move language is super unique, and they're paying a bunch of KOLs to kind of bring it attention to it. On top of that, they have a faster blockchain than Solana. It wasn't Sui in general that got hacked. It was a DApp or a DeFi platform on Sui, and it was, I don't know, maybe 1/8 or not 1/8, less than 1/10 of the TVL on Sui, and it was from Cetus. But those type of things bring more eyes onto the chain as well, and in longer term time frame, I see it bullish. Like, and everybody wants to talk about Sui not being decentralized, but it is. They're having to have validators vote on it, and it's not to take the blockchain and fork it or anything. You have to have like 100 and some validators vote for it, for the money to come back for Cetus, that the money that they stopped. And if anything, that's decentralized. It's not one person making the decision. So all of that shit that you see on Twitter and all that, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's literally bullshit. The farther you dig into it, yes. It's like people reading news headlines and reading just the headline and saying, hey, this is what I read, versus actually reading the entire thing, and it's all bullshit. It's a headline to capture your attention so people can get retweets and votes and shit like that.
You're like the first person that I've spoken to in like 10 days who have said that people are going to want a KYC. I was just at the Solana conference, and every whale that I was chatting with was just like, yeah, like, fuck KYCing, like, I'm not paying taxes, like, Hyperliquid.
Okay, so they go to jail. I mean, yeah, everybody says that in front of people to sound cool. Like, they want to sound cool, right? Like, they're not getting recorded, they're in person, they can say that, like, oh, it's a crypto event. Let me just say that, right? But that's not reality. Like, there's 3 things in life, right? Taxes is one of them. Like,
but like, so many people are using Hyperliquid right now. It's like.
So you mean to tell me there's not going to be a bot that they can make that will instantly just track all your wallets and lead back to your Hyperliquid place in the future, and it's all public on the blockchain that they can't find in the future and send them to jail? I mean,
that's one probability of the future. That's one possible scenario. Dude, I'm in the same boat, bro. I work for an exchange that's KYC, and we're launching perps, right? And I was just having a lot of conversations with a lot of like market makers and funds, and this was just a lot of the feedback that I'm getting. Like, I'm on your side with this argument, truthfully. It's just like,
it's reality. Yeah. I mean, people in crypto, they want to live in the fake reality, but they're gonna come back and get it. Like, the government wants their money. One, if you're living in a place that doesn't have any tax on it or something like that, that's understandable. And they're saying Hyperliquid. That's like the movement right now, right? Like, and I don't blame them. I was bullish on Hype too. I'm still bullish on Hype. But there are things to think about in the risk curve with it. Like, if they do legalize it in the U.S., where you can trade on exchanges. I know a lot of people, if you can have an on-ramp and an off-ramp where you can also trade leverage onto it, I know a lot of people will use it. And that's just the truth. I mean, everybody is using Coinbase or Kraken or some of those to on and off ramp because that's the only thing that you can use. Say you have that platform where you can also trade leverage on it, right? And it's like instant deposits and withdrawals. Like, you will use it. I know people will, especially if they have a proof of reserve. Like, that's just the hard
proof of reserve.
Cold fact reality. Yeah, I mean, either non-custodial, any of that. Like, it's the reality. People will use it. And Hype, everybody's also farming an airdrop because they only have, I think it was like 50% of the airdrop that has gone out. Maybe 60%. I don't know. I have to double check. But that's how it is. So, and people are going to say that because they don't want to pay it. But, I mean, I don't think that's the right way to do it. I'm not going to promote that. Like, if they don't want to pay taxes, that's not my thing to promote. And that's everybody's personal choice. And if they want to get caught for millions of dollars and not have it, if crypto goes to zero say they claim all these profits and then they make all this money and then they don't claim it until the next year and things start to nuke to zero and then they owe taxes and all their coins nuked and they have to pay in 2026, a lot of people can get fucked. Especially if we go into a recession and the government looks for clawbacks, how to make their money back, and they implement stuff. And it's possible. So, but yeah, and either way, if you're in Hype or Sui, you're winning. Like, God forbid, you could be in other coins and be losing, and you can't always find the exact runner. But if you want to consider Hype as like one of it, I mean, still Sui has pretty much held its pace, right? Like, where's August? I don't even think this has the entire chart, but this might be a little bit better. Either way, like Sui has held its pace, like even until if you take out the last week, maybe, right, where you had a Sui hack, or last maybe, what is this? Yeah, say the last week, right? You have hype going crazy, and then you have Sui getting hacked, like a DeFi platform on there. Other than that, I mean, it's held extremely well. And it's been these two have been outperforming everything else. So maybe I could say it that way. But just looking at it in general, these two have outperformed everything else. And I personally think Sui held extremely well for having one of the larger hacks versus hype recently. Maybe if you wanted to be perfect and rotate Solana when Solana was at 200 plus to Sui under $1, and then once Sui hit like the top, buy the dip on hype, but like that would have been perfect rotation. Good for somebody if they did that, right? But overall, I think Sui held extremely well.
So, what are you looking for in terms of like? So, I was reading some of your messages from yesterday. You're still waiting for like a move down on BTC to like re-enter a lot of alt longs. Is there anything else that you're looking at for like when it's time to start like
Yes.
positioning for alt?
So I'm looking for acceleration. That's basically what I'm looking for at the moment for alts and for Bitcoin dominance to really show its hand. And I'm in spot, so like I could not trade this entire cycle and be completely happy. But for me, for leverage, it's a tool. I'm trying to find bigger moves and impulse where I can take that money and extract. I could be trading lower time frames and stuff like that at the moment, but I was away this weekend. I am still looking for a potential pullback, and I'm looking to hopefully get into some swings for leverage. And it could have just been what just happened, right? But if not, I think you still get a chance at like a higher low where you actually start to break out of things. If worst case scenario, and then that's where you can get in. If I do miss this, like I would look for a move up, retrace, and get in there. But I was away, and all the spot I have still performing extremely well. So for me, leverage I use as a tool. I don't have to be in a leverage trade 24/7. A lot of people, they like to day trade and they don't own any spot. So that is why they're always in a leverage trade or thinking they have to trade every day because that's how they need to make money. I don't take my portfolio and look at it like that. I think of it as separate entities. Like I am still allocated to the market heavily at the moment, super heavy. I have a smaller percentage, like around 5% of my portfolio that is into leverage, and I try to grow that. And then I'll take money out of that, and I'll try to grow another one. And I use it as a tool to buy more spot and to pay for just things in real life while I have the spot holdings that I sit on for the greater money, per se. And then I trade narrative stuff too. So like, for example, like PQL was one that we got in, which looks like it's on discount now. But this was one entered here, and I wrote it up, and that was like a 4x. And like now it's also in another good spot, personally, it looks like. And if this retraces again, I might get back in. I still think this one could do extremely well. But overall, I think we're into May. Like I think people are going to kind of relax a little bit going into June. And the charts show it, right? You have larger harmonics that are on Bitcoin that's bearish where you can get a pause. But you also have Bitcoin dominance that's starting to show early signs of movement. So even if alts move, at the moment, you're not missing anything in a higher time frame. I think people are so they forget about cycles and how crazy these alts can actually move, that I think they're worried about missing stuff on a tiny time frame. And when you really look at coins, they really haven't moved. Like this is nothing. Like if you're looking at Injective or Say, like just on a weekly, things really have not moved yet. And you have plenty of time to catch all of these. And I personally don't have the best feeling yet. And if things start to, and I'm trusting my gut on this one, if things start to turn around, obviously I'll pivot and I'll enter longs, right? But for me, I'm looking for a good value for my leverage if I'm going to enter leverage. And I always try to find good entries. That's one thing I'm very good at and typically find. But for right now, like even Say, like Say does look good here. Like you can't say it doesn't, like higher time frame. But you're not going to get like a super acceleration yet. Like I think in June we start to accelerate, June, July. And I also do use lunar cycles a little bit too.
So DCA and shove.
But like things haven't really moved yet. Like especially if you're looking on a weekly.
You look at someone like the AI plays, like AIXBT, AI16Z, Graphane, any one of those.
Yeah, and if we started a real alt season and AI is going to be a narrative, like I would still say this is barely moved. Off the lows, it's moved, but like, what are you looking at? Virtuals and other ones? What else did you want to look at? Like these things have barely moved. Obviously, some of the ones in the lead-in categories. This is why I said you want to usually find the leaders and go with them first. Then you can rotate. But like Powell still barely moved. I mean, I think Tao's going to be a leader, and it is a leader. So Tao has moved up to the midpoint of the channel. So like,
You know what's a good beta, just to keep in mind? You should put this on your watch list. Grift. I think the ticker is Grift. It says in the name of the company is Orbit. It's like a competitor to Graphane and Hey Anon. Yeah, I think that's it. You got it. I look at the deck screener chart.
see, I'm not even interested in this type of stuff yet. Like when alt season starts, like yeah, obviously some of these can run like crazy, but like I'm not even interested in like these low-hanging fruits yet. Like I think there will be a time where there's plenty of time to catch all of these things, and like a lot of platforms still haven't even lost. Like some of the best runners this cycle probably not even launched. These are low floaters. This is not what I am interested in at the moment. Especially when I think alts can be doing like 100% to like 500% move soon.
This is a beta.
Yeah, I'm not interested in betas yet. I don't think it's the time to be interested in betas.
I agree.
I want winners. Like you can be interested in betas right now, and you could be looking at betas at the beginning of an alt season, and then you look back at it and be like, why the fuck was I sitting in a beta when I could have just chose the leader? and it's much more risk adverse. Like I'm trading with a lot right now in spot, and I don't want betas. I don't want betas. People with a lot of money do not want to enter betas at the moment. People that are trying to turn a smaller portfolio into a bigger one, maybe they do that, but there's a reason they haven't turned their portfolio into a big portfolio yet if you're constantly chasing betas instead of just finding the best plays. And you want to build, yeah, exactly what Justin said. You want to build like a hierarchy list, like what's going to be the top performers. And you want to start with those. Like top performers usually are top performers for a reason, and you need to extract from those. Especially when Bitcoin dominance still looks like this. Like you're pretty much at all-time high. You're at like, what is this? There's only been like 2 weeks where Bitcoin dominance has been higher than it is at the moment. So like alts have been absolutely crushed, and you don't want betas at this area. You just don't. If you want to trade that way, go ahead, but that's not how I trade, and I don't think it'll ever be how I trade. If we're at Bitcoin dominance this high, I want to look for the leaders. What are betas? Betas are basically like, so you have like your main play. Let me try to think of a good example. So say like, obviously Solana has been like the best play for layer one, the beginning of the cycle. Say you wanted to long like, this might be a bad example, but ADA or something for a layer one, or Say or something. Like say you were sitting in Say the entire cycle versus Solana or something like that. Like you've been in the beta versus like the main, and you could have gotten in Solana, made 10, 20x, and then rotated into Say while Say is still at the lows. Like the amount of money, there's a word for it, where you have your opportunity cost by being in a beta and just sitting in it, even if it runs like crazy. Your opportunity cost, where you could have been in the leader and then rotated to the beta when it's time, your opportunity cost is extremely high by sitting in these. And God forbid, I don't want to sit in something if it's a beta and the narrative isn't there and it just doesn't move. Like then you're at the end of the cycle and things are starting to top out and go down, and you're sitting in this beta that's barely moved, and maybe you do get a move on it, but you miss out on the opportunity of the things that are moving at the time.
Yeah, this is a good lesson. I think a lot of my friends held a lot of like beta memes, like on this downturn, and like none of them just ever came back, or just had like such a small pump, and they missed out on so much shit.
And that's exactly why I consolidated almost all of my memes into Farcoin. And a lot of whales and people with money did too. Like you're looking at most of them, and they consolidated into, okay, what was the strongest? Like what got the most attention? What had the attention economy of like the news stations and everything, and people like Fartcoin was what people were laughing at, and it was on the news. It had all the things. It's funny. Why would I risk money into betas when I know Fartcoin can be a winner? And if I just shove larger amounts into Fartcoin, I can make more money.
But the beta run, like after, so like during the whole AI bubble, the betas on AI went crazy for like a month.
Yeah, I know. I played them. We played them in here.
That was an epic run. I wasn't here then, but
yeah, we were actively on chain trading those. Like we found Fartcoin at 3 million in here. I found it. And then we played all the betas. Like I was actively trading meme coins in October, November, December, when everything was going crazy, and we were actively trading those. But there's a time and a place. Like I do rotate on chain, and I do trade betas and everything when there's time. Right now is not time for that. Right now is time for larger caps. You get into your SUI, you get into your AVAX, you get that. So when you do want to trade those meme coins on chain, the money that you have already put into the layer one gains, right? So like you bet on the entire ecosystem at the beginning. Say AVAX goes from like $23 to like 60. So now you have 2-3x the amount of money that you were gonna bet on plays on chain that has already increased. So now you have more money to play with on chain, and that goes for last cycle with NFTs. You were in Solana super early. NFTs go up to 10 SOL. So what? That was like $50 at the time if you were buying it like $5, or say it was $10. That's $100 versus It was 2,000 for 10 soul last cycle. So if you buy the underlying asset early, you bet on the ecosystem pops off, you have more money from the beginning to play those betas and those on-chain plays in the future. And that's why I have a lot of layer ones, because I do plan to play around on-chain with Sui. I do plan to play on-chain with AVAX. I do plan for Solana, and I do plan for Sei. I think those are the ones that I want to play around on-chain. I have some hype. I haven't really explored it a ton, and that's fine. Like, I'm going to go with Sui and some of these other ones that I'm comfortable with, that I want to play. And people make a fuck ton of money on hype, good for them. But I'm not chasing, and there's no reason for me to be looking at something right now that has already gone this high. Like, I have some money in it where I can play around if I want. But why am I going to look at something and look for opportunity when the opportunity is gone? Like, this is not actionable. There's nothing actionable about this at the moment. I'm looking for plays that are actionable. How can I make money right now? And that's how people need to think. Like, if you're looking at things that have already ran, then sure, you can look for betas if you want, or you can look for actionable trades. How can I like make money now, or my next step to make money? Something like this is not as actionable as like looking for like a setup and finding something that's actionable right now to make money. And I think that's how people have to kind of shift their mindset too. I saw a lot of things going on with Titcoin recently, which is a meme coin on Solana. Funny name, but I think, what's his name from Hyperliquid, James Wynn or whatever, had like 5% of the supply and just started dumping it recently. Or even more. Which this could probably rebound now if he's exiting. I mean, this chart looks extremely good, to be honest. Like for me, like I'd also rather just get into something like this, like Blub at the moment. Like I know a lot of things on with Sui and Cetus, like this is discount. Like when you have a hack like this and you have things that are gonna survive, and this is on major exchanges too, so it still has liquidity. Like things like Blub, like it's such an opportunity right now, where you can still get a 10, 20x on these things. Lo-Fi took a big dip.
What about Hippo?
So the more
I
and
mean,
more
that's
I
it.
learn about Hippo, the more and more I'm like, eh. I think a lot of it is bundled with Hippo, and I still think,
Everything's bundled.
yeah, like extremely bundled. But it is on Binance, and I still think it can do extremely well. And we had a pretty nice little candle and move up down, but I do think Hippo can still run from here. And the chart looks great. I think it still goes to 0.0083.
All right, I'm holding that. I round trip my Squirt. Squirt's basically at 0, I think. I don't know what the
So
price is on that.
Squirt's relaunching. They had all of their liquidity posted over into Cetus, unfortunately, and they weren't on any major sexes or anything at the moment. So that's the thing with Squirt. Like I think the team's great. I think they can do well. I have to read more into it. I've been out of town. I had decent money in that, but what can you do? Then there's Apu. Like I think this one does extremely well still. I would ideally love to get in at the Gartley here. 618, 786. Like this is what I'm hopefully waiting for to get in on these, because if you can get in on these, like a Gartley, higher time frame, like launch coin, like this one at a Gartley, like you can look for large moves, like especially into seasonality like this. Like you can make so much money on trades like this. 131% if you get in. Say I put in like 20 grand on like 3x on that, which it brings my stop loss down to my liquidation level here. Like, I doubt that gets wicked into after forming a Gartley. Like, that's a lot of money that you can make. So I'm looking for plays like this at the moment, where we have a Gartley on Apu that looks like it complete launch coin. Like even for Hadel, like this is a recent one, like a recent Gartley that I was looking at, that I had like, I think I had like 15K on 3x on it, and it fucking, I made somebody's salary. In this move.
Oh, dude, I wish I would have stayed in this one longer. That was such a fucking rip.
You had the 786, and you had the Gartley here. And it just absolutely ripped. And this is type of plays I'm looking for at the moment. Where like, that thing ripped 70%. Like I didn't get out there. I think I got out like 38, 40%. But it was a huge move. Like you can make good money on these. And Apu has a setup like that. And that's what I wanted to go through some of these before get distracted, but there's a ton of these plays set up, like even Brett. I have alerts set on Brett. So like, can this run away here and go and we not get these entries? Yes, but the way I trade, if this opportunity presents, this is when I'm going to take it, and it hasn't presented yet. So maybe it comes up here into the fair value gap, comes down, entry, and then that's the last entry you get, right? Like before we move all the way up, and this is your impulse move, and you form the Gartley, which is my favorite harmonic to trade. And we have Apu that has one. I mean, if you can get an entry here, close to Pico bottom, be patient, you look for 100% move on leverage, like who gives a fuck if somebody's been trading every single day? If you can catch a move like this and swing it, like you will make more money than them. That was just like in August, September of last year when we caught Apu for like a fucking multiple X on leverage and swung it the whole way, and some of these other plays. Like even Brett, like I don't know if you guys remember my old Brett play. We played this Gartley here. We entered here on Brett, I think like right around here, and we caught this entire move. And then I sat on my hands for a couple months because I didn't have to trade every single day because we caught a major move. So this is more so what I'm looking at. And if you guys want to scalp and do all that other stuff, which I might start doing again, like do some more daily ones, then do it. But this is the setups that I'm looking for at the moment. Like I still haven't had a lot of stuff trigger for kind of what I'm looking for. Like even, like yeah, Doge can probably still just pop off from here. But like if we do get an entry down here, like this will be the last entry that you get. And those are the ones you want to hold. Fartcoin, I don't know if anything setup wise has been on here. I want to examine it. Torcoin's just extremely strong. I mean, there's potential Gartley setups across the board, where like if we do come down, like this is where I want my entries. I didn't cover Chainlink earlier, but I got in Chainlink down here as well. This is my, I consider this another like RWA. Like I still love Chainlink. If Chainlink doesn't succeed, then all of crypto doesn't succeed. It's pretty much into everything. Like even the Chainlink Bitcoin chart is at weekly divergences with the harmonic, and this is when I called it around. I think price was $11. Right here. Like things like lo-fi even will do extremely well. Like you have your 886 pivot from your deep crab right down here, right on the like cup and handle breakout. You have your harmonic bat pattern that's playing out. If you pull it from down here where Scott Software shows it, say you sweep that low right before you go. And this comes down, you type to it, like you probably came up to 382.618.5 area. So you come back down, this sweeps, find reclaim, and you go. Like that's why I think in the next few months we're gonna go extremely hard, but we're just setting up on the lower time frame. Like I don't think we've seen anything close to it all season if we're gonna get one. You're still at very, 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 very beginning stages. Like look at this bat harmonic on STX. Is that what this is marked for? It is. Four-hour harmonic on Blub. Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, look at Launchcoin. This is what we just covered earlier, right? Like we want to see it start to fall from here. We just went below the 4-hour moving average, the 50, right? Like we just went below it. We broke out of the trend. We hit the 4-hour fair value gap up here. We're at the lowest price since the short. currently down from when I said to enter 20%. I want this thing to just free fall. Did something happen? Everyone that ever bought Launchcoin is now underwater? What? Oh. Oh, come on. Just fucking nuke it. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna undo that. Everybody's so bullish on it at the moment too. So many people. Time to send it to 1 billion. Time blah blah blah. Fuck them. God, I hope they just get hacked right now. I even added a little bit once this went here. Like I even added more. My entry I brought down a little bit, but what was the chart that I had on? Oh, that's because I switched over to price instead of market cap. Yeah, I mean, we just broke down. This is good. If you guys want to take some off the table here, feel free to. It's down 20%. Oh, what up, Dip Wheeler? Dip Wheeler can never open up Twitter anywhere and be safe. Costco looks fine. Like, I still have a bag. I have 3 bags of this. It like fucking moved up like 10x from entry. Like down here, moved up like over 10x, like about 10x, give or take. Now you've retraced, and it looks extremely great at the moment. Like, if you're gonna get back in, get back in. I still have a bag, like, I have 3 bags of this that I'm just gonna hold. I've took out double my initial around like a 10x, and I've just left it in, and I'm just gonna hold. But like, you're basically PO3 right here. Like, if you're gonna enter back in, this is where you do it. You had all these wicks, you had your manipulation below it, you came back up, you reclaimed it, you tested this as support, you tested this as support, you'll look good. If we're gonna move up to a 100 million market cap, it's from here, it's a 5x. Alright, let me post in Ponzi Alpha. Yeah, feel free to take some off now. For everybody that's worried. If you're worried, now's a great time to take some off. It's 20% down. Yes, it can keep going, but like you want to sell into strength or buy into weakness. Like, you know what I mean? Because if it does spike back up, if you wanted to add back, you always can, but you secure some profits on the way down. That's up to you guys. I mean, everything on my entire watch list is, other than that, it's pretty green, and then we have just launch coin. I knew it looked good for short. House coin might type 2 this Gartley. Give us another opportunity. If house coin comes back down, and we get this, bro, that is bullish. Same for Ava AI. Like I really want to complete this Gartley on Ava AI. I think this is gonna be a fucking amazing play if this completes. Hopefully launch coin goes to 0 at the same time these complete. Because this will be shit that you look back on if this completes like this. And it just... does some shit like that. And these are the type of entries I'm trying to get you guys. Alright, I will take requests now. But I need to go to the gym, so I will give you guys about 20 minutes max. Tesla entry has ran away from you. I was telling people down here, this was the area. I don't know now. I'm not gonna give. I told you guys around this bat harmonic was the area. I'm not gonna give any long dated call options on this. This was the area I told you to take it. So if nobody listened there, then I'm not gonna, after it's already moved, speak on it. I do still think that we can go up to like the 600 level from here. I mean, the structure looks bullish as fuck. I think Brett will still do well, yeah. Even though it's bundled by Crash. So Crash was the guy that made Brett, right? He's friends with me. We talk in DMs. I think he's the dev of Brett, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I help him with harmonics. He asked me for coins, and he asked for my harmonics, so I give him harmonics. Which is funny, but even Crash likes harmonics. So, ooh, banana. We'll take a look at banana. So if ETH on chain, so this is a very speculative play, right? Where I said it can still be an 81% move up. I was looking at this, if ETH on chain does heat up. Oh wow, this actually played. That I think banana would be a good one. If it's still the main, I'd have to see if it's still the main thing that people are using for on-chain buys as a Telegram bot. If so, this could still do well. I would probably leverage trade this. I don't think I will buy it. But if it comes back down to 19 bucks, I think it could be a good trade. Which is also around TP2 of your bearish crab that you have here. This red one on Carney Software. So you had your XA up here, completion, where it nuked from. T2 is down here around 1846. So if that plays right around coming down to a 786, fill in a fair value gap, like this will probably be a good entry. So many low cap plays people are still looking at in AI. God, I remember when this thing was like 10 million market cap. I mean, it looks good. I mean, higher time frame, it still looks good. It'll probably pump. I mean, if you're looking for like a lower time frame entry on this, I mean, you just had this trade that played out, but I mean, God forbid it comes all the way back down. I can give you, if it comes all the way back down, God forbid something like that happens, you should have a level marked and alerts set just in case. You had a bat pattern here around 14 cents. So say it breaks below this B point, you could potentially be looking at that. Six, 1, 8. I mean, these are like doomsday harmonics, right? But I always mark them. So you have a deep crab, you have a bat that both line up in the same area. So alerts will be set for that. Well, there's no reason to really even think it's going to go down there yet. And then lower time frame, there's really not many harmonics on this. 1, 2, 7, 2. I really don't see many other harmonics on this at the moment. I mean, Kato, I mean, this also seems like another missed opportunity. Alright. Like, I don't see anything actionable on this at the moment. Same with Cookie. Like, you guys are looking at things that I've already sent. I mean, there could be something if Cookie comes back down. If Cookie retraces this entire thing, I mean, this would be a fantastic entry on Cookie for a bullish bet. Fill the daily fair value gap right into probably a weekly order block mid. Yep. mean, if something like this happens and we do get a push down with this new moon, and the moon cycle actually plays out, and you do get a little bearish retrace into, you get the strawberry moon in June, which is like the harvest moon, which lines up with speculative assets to pump on the lunar cycle, like, and it's full moon. I think if you get that retrace, it's time to go. Yeah, I use Mexi and Blowfin. What is NIL? Million? Don't tell me that's like a fucking 500k market cap, bro. I don't know anything about it. There's no charting I can do on this. Is this on Osmo? It's got 600 bucks in liquidity. Please tell me that. The USDC has more. Okay. How does it have? It has more liquidity than it does market cap. Am I missing something? Bullish back completed. If you're bullish on this, this is probably where it reverses. Yeah, I think Cetus is still gonna be fine. Like, I think everybody is fucking worried. And people are freaking out, and I think it's a buying opportunity. Even if it comes a little lower. Interesting. I'll look into Nillion. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think all of this will be erased. By July the latest. I think it'll be at a higher price than it was when the hack happened. Okay, so using their cash and their token treasurers, they're in a position to fully recover the stolen assets currently off-chain if the lock funds are recovered through the upcoming community vote. This includes a critical loan from the Sui Foundation, making 100% recovery for all affected users. Because full recovery is dependent upon the results of the community vote, we humbly ask for the Sui community to support the recover the funds on the upcoming vote. Regardless of the outcome of the vote, recovery will begin immediately after. A detailed plan will follow. So yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be made whole. I think if they have a loan from the SUI Foundation, which the SUI Foundation obviously knows how important this is, they want to make them whole. And even if it's a loan, CEDAS has been making money as a protocol. I think they're going to double down, work with the SUI Foundation, make sure there's no holes in any of their software or anything where they can get hacked again. And I think CEDAS will be completely fine, personally. So I think everybody's freaking out, and I always find it as opportunity. But that's just me, right? But everybody will freak out, and it's just comical, to be honest, for me. But that's why big bank takes little bank, and that's why people that freak out lose their money. Especially people that can't control their emotions. So what's actually happening to Launchcoin? Why is it the only thing that's red right now? If you can withstand some downward pressure on CEDAS, and that everything does work out, and they do get the vote, like I think it, in the long run, like you're gonna look back at it and be like, that was a huge, like a perfect opportunity, personally. Obviously, if the vote doesn't pass, you're in a sticky situation, so you're kind of gambling. But I mean, that's what trading is in general. Just educated guesses. And you got people that are freaking out. But like, say it does come back stronger, they do recover all the funds. CEDAS is the main DEX on the lead-in layer 1 at the moment. Yeah, most exchanges do have size limits on, like position size limits on coins, especially using higher leverage. So like if you're using like say 20x, like you're not able to put as much position size as if you were using like a lower leverage. So that's why like when I see some people, like I know exchanges, and sometimes I know if somebody's using 50x, the max position size they can on a position. They only allow you to use a certain amount of size on the position based on the leverage. So I know they're not trading with a lot of money. Yeah, some coins also do that regardless of leverage, but you also have to realize that some platforms also, if you're using a certain leverage, that you can only use a certain amount. They won't let you go any higher in position size. You have to actually lower your leverage and actually have the capital to put behind it if you want a bigger position size. That's why when I see like 200x short on some shitty ass coin or something, and I know there's a max position size on it, and they're talking about how they're making so much money, it makes me laugh. Alright, so this has been a pretty long, I don't know how much time we're going on now. About 2 hours. I have to go to the gym. I'm gonna hop off. I'll probably be back on maybe later tonight, and I'll try to record another one. Or I might just hop back in. Like I said, I'm still waiting. I will give alerts when I see something that I want to take. In the meantime, if there's other stuff that you guys want to trade or do on the side, go ahead. I mean, you don't have to just listen to me, but I will tell you what I'm doing. The only thing I've done recently is short Launchcoin, which is down 23% after taking some trades on some coins that we got nice scalps on over the weekend when I wasn't even at my computer. So for me, I mean, this is not bad, right? Like, it's down 23%. Is there anything that's been up 23% on the day? ETH-FI. Virtuals is 18%. TRB is up 57% in WCT. Okay. And AIXBT. So there's a few things in the top 300 or 400 that are doing a little bit better, right? But other than that, just this is how I kind of gauge myself. Down 23% on the day from the entry. Like, we're outperforming majority of the market still at the moment with leverage. That's kind of how I gauge it myself. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off. If you guys have any questions, write in VC chat. I'll take a look at it while I'm at the gym and hopefully be able to cover some stuff later, and I'll post the other stream.